Mr. Thanedar confronts Secretary Kristi Noem over alleged misrepresentations regarding DHS compliance with federal court orders, highlighting arrests of U.S. citizens and potential abuses of power. His questioning underscores accountability, transparency, and the tension between federal enforcement and constitutional rights.
I know the American people have been demanding answers from this administration on their unlawful actions. So I hope we are able to get some useful answers from our witnesses today. Secretary Noem, this past May, I asked you during a congressional hearing if it was the policy of DHS to follow orders issued by federal courts. You said on the record, and I'm quoting here, "We are following all federal orders." End of my quote, end of your quote. Secretary Noem, you lied to me under oath that day. You lied to the American people, and you have betrayed the trust placed upon you in your role as Secretary of Homeland Security. You defied federal court orders when you refused to order the deportation flights to El Salvador in March to turn around. Federal courts have also found your department to have violated federal injunctions in your continue to send non-citizens on deportation flights, with some courts having called your orders unlawful. Secretary Noem, I just have 3 questions for you. 1, why did you lie under oath by saying DHS was following all federal court orders when they clearly were not?
Congressman.
Question 2, let me finish my questions. Question 2, why did you mislead the American people when you said that no American citizens have been arrested or detained by federal immigration agents? And my last question, number 3, Donald Trump said that your ICE agents haven't gone far enough. Do you think terrorizing American citizens and assaulting peaceful protesters isn't far enough?
Congressman, the Department of Homeland Security and this administration complies with all federal court orders. We always have, and we always will.
Not true.
And we will continue to appeal. And sir, I will even tell you that at the highest court, at the Supreme Court, the Department of Homeland Security in our litigation has an over 90% success rate in winning at the highest court in our battle against activist judges across this country.
Madam Secretary,
We will continue to appeal. And then when it gets to the highest court and we get a decision, it is proven that we have been compliant. I will also say,
Madam Secretary, let me.
You want me to answer your questions or not?
I do, but let me. You haven't been telling us the truth. Look, there have been at least 170 known cases of citizens being arrested or detained by federal immigration agents this year alone. This is the truth. Are you lying to the American people right now by denying these reports?
When we are doing our targeted enforcement operations against criminal illegal aliens, individuals that are in that area may be detained until we verify who they are, and then they are released. This has been done for years, and every single law enforcement operation that has always happened, we follow the same protocols, and we continue to do that. We have never once detained or deported an American citizen. We have not held them and charged them. When we find out and verify their identity, then that is when they are released. You also asked about ICE agents going far enough. Sir, I will tell you that every single ICE agent, CBP agent, federal law enforcement officer that's out there doing their work every day, none of them will rest until our communities are safe. None of them will rest until
Secretary Noem, it is a fact that you ignored federal orders.
And our children and our grandchildren can grow
up. Let me reclaim my time here, please. Let me reclaim. Secretary Noem, it is a fact that you ignored federal court orders in March and in May of this year. Do you plan on ignoring more federal orders? I'm sick of your lies. And the American people demand the truth.
Because you keep saying it doesn't make it true.
I am sick of your lies. The American people are sick of these lies. American people demand truth.
America is very happy that finally they have a president in the White House that gets up every day to keep them safe.
Madam Secretary, your incompetence and your inability to truthfully carry out your duties of Secretary of Homeland Security. If you're not fired, will you resign?
Sir, I will consider your asking me to resign as an endorsement of my work. Thank you very much.
I yield back my time.
In this exchange, Mr. Thanedar delivers a forceful challenge to Secretary Kristi Noem, centering on the Department of Homeland Security's handling of federal court orders and the treatment of U.S. citizens during immigration enforcement operations. Thanedar's questions are pointed, structured around three major concerns: the alleged false statement under oath about compliance with court orders, the claim that American citizens have been arrested or detained, and whether DHS operations are excessively aggressive under political pressure. He begins by directly accusing the Secretary of lying to Congress and the American people, framing the issue as one of public trust and legal accountability. By referencing specific incidents, such as the March deportation flights to El Salvador, Thanedar anchors his critique in concrete examples rather than abstract allegations. His line of questioning emphasizes the repeated tension between federal immigration enforcement actions and judicial oversight, highlighting courts that have deemed certain DHS actions unlawful. This framing raises serious questions about executive overreach, adherence to the rule of law, and the integrity of sworn testimony. Secretary Noem's responses focus on procedural justifications, asserting that DHS complies with federal court orders and emphasizing the agency's high success rate in litigation. She repeatedly deflects by describing enforcement as targeted and stressing the verification process for individuals detained, attempting to reassure that American citizens are not being deported or charged. She also highlights the broader mission of ICE, CBP, and federal law enforcement to maintain public safety, positioning their actions as part of a national security imperative. Noem's emphasis on legal victories and procedural protocols is designed to frame DHS operations as lawful and effective, despite the allegations presented. Thanedar, however, refuses to accept procedural defenses as sufficient. He presses the Secretary repeatedly, citing reported arrests of at least 170 citizens to challenge Noem's claims. By framing this as a direct lie to the public, Thanedar elevates the discussion from policy interpretation to questions of personal accountability and ethical responsibility. His rhetorical style, reclaiming time, interrupting when necessary, and repeating the core issues, underscores the urgency he places on transparency and adherence to the law. He also frames the debate politically, contrasting DHS actions under Noem and the previous administration, and asserting that the current leadership should uphold constitutional standards while protecting the public. The exchange illustrates the broader tension in immigration enforcement between executive directives and judicial authority. Thanedar's insistence on specific answers demonstrates congressional oversight in action, while Noem's deflections reveal the challenges in balancing public accountability with operational discretion in federal agencies. The dialogue raises critical questions about the limits of executive authority, the potential for civil liberties infringements, and the role of Congress in ensuring federal agencies act lawfully. Ultimately, Thanedar's line of questioning positions the public's right to accurate information and lawful governance as paramount, challenging the Secretary to reconcile enforcement practices with constitutional and ethical standards. This confrontation also underscores the human element of policy enforcement. While DHS officials stress national security, Thanedar highlights individual cases, emphasizing how real people, including American citizens, can be affected by broad operational decisions. This approach appeals to both legal principles and public sentiment, illustrating the high stakes of federal oversight in matters of civil rights and immigration enforcement.